Um, Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Well World Live. Lillian in New York. Actually, I'm not in New York again. I'm in Connecticut at my lovely friend's house, Rose and Steve. I had a back problem last week. I got quote unquote stuck, and I'm really happy that I got stuck because I have this beautiful background, very different than Manhattan. Anyway, today we have a fantastic guest, another awesome friend of mine. And the title of today's show is The Magic of Massage. It's just not massage. So my good friend Josh Smith, he's a massage therapist extraordinaire located in LA. His interest in body work began as a bodybuilder and trainer in his teenage years, leading to a competitive amateur bodybuilder career before he started dancing. Then he started dancing, touring through Europe in his early 20s, and continued when he returned to LA. He married his wife, Anne, also my good friend who's been on the show a few weeks ago, who led him into acting, which he pursued for 10 years, doing television, stage, and independent films. While acting, he started his producing career with a first short film. He started his producing career with his wife, doing numerous stage productions over the next few years, which led to producing their first short film. He and his writing partner used his extensive book collection as a breeding ground to write feature film and television scripts. After purchasing their second home, Josh pursued a career in massage that led to his immersion in bodywork and the energy arts that he continues to do today. Later on, I'll let you know how you can reach him. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my awesome friend, Josh. Take a look at his teeth. He's got fantastic teeth. He's awesome. Here he is.
I've got all my teeth. That's it. Lily, you know what's crazy? That was such a great introduction. Where is that guy? I hope he gets here.
He's right there. How are you, honey?
You know what? We're really good. We're really good. Pandemic's good. Parents are good. Wife is good. Shop for the birthday, so I'm safe. I'm okay.
Right. That's awesome. You have so much to tell. I have to tell the audience. I've been to Josh and Ann's house many times. I've had the pleasure of sleeping there. I've had the pleasure of going out with Josh to the diner around the corner where he doesn't understand why I order 5 different beverages.
It's insane.
Ranging from a milkshake to a cup of coffee,
all at
the same sitting. And I gotta say, Josh he has so many talents, but he's always reading, and he's got so many books in his house. I remember once I wanted to bring a gift and I didn't know what to get him. And I went to Barnes and Nobles and I said, I need the most current, most up-to-date book. I brought it, and guess what? He had already read it. Right?
Great minds think alike. That's the perfect gift for me.
That's right.
Gift. Perfect.
It was like out that week, and there it was.
Perfect.
So tell me, Josh, how did you get into this whole thing with massage? How did that come about?
We met, my wife and I met. I'm not going to date her, but we met a couple decades ago.
What do you mean you're not going to date her? You had to date her.
Well, I don't want to reveal her age, so I'm going to say we met a couple decades ago. It might have been before the internet. She introduced me to an artistic life. And at the end result of it, I ended up getting into body work because as things were going along being an actor, we were also advancing our life in other ways. We had bought houses. We were real estate people now doing landlording. And, you have to kind of step up a little bit. And I didn't want to be in restaurants anymore. We didn't want to run a restaurant, didn't want to run a bar. That had kind of run its course. And I still needed a clientele. I didn't want to run a gym anymore. I'd been a manager. I'd been a trainer and stuff like that. But I wanted something that was tactile. I wanted to touch people. I wanted to deal in that way from that revenue stream different than what I'd been before. I didn't want something I had to sell or to push or to do homework on. You know what I mean? I was looking for something different. Literally sat around. It took about a week thinking about massage work. Called up. We used to have an office on the Warner Brother lot, and we used to go to a restaurant at this one place. Called a guy that worked at the restaurant at a tennis club, and said, "How do I get into this?" And he's like, "Do A, B, and C." And so I did A, B, and C. And then when you start doing it, what I like is my mind works the best when I'm not really trying to think about something. Your mind, your creativity is kind of unleashed when you're a little busy. You know, like if you manually wash the dishes, if you do something by hand, sometimes your creativity is unlocked. And that's what I liked about massage. It allowed me to heal as a person, which allowed me to be of service to the people that I was trying to provide healing for. And I didn't really understand all that. Massage was just more of a service.
Right.
What we do now is like, and that's after you've been into for a minute, energy work. That starts to mean something to you. What attracts me so much, like, you know me, I like to gossip. Okay.
Yeah.
You know that, like, you know what I mean? Let's talk about it a little bit because that's what we like to do.
Yeah.
Your body hides secrets that when I'm doing massage will unlock them. And I found that so fascinating. It was like being an archaeologist, but of a living person right there. And you're just going and unlocking and finding out what there is to be released. And when you work on yourself enough to be able to be trusted by that person to release what there is, that's the highest form of almost communication that you can have with that person. And I never thought all this was going to be available for massage. I thought of it more of like a haircut, a service, nice, loving, you trust him, you get a tip, talk to you later, you know, kind of light. You're like coffee, you know, one creamer and you got to go. You know what I mean? Like you're not ordering dessert. You know what I mean?
Right.
And once that happened, it helped me learn at a conscious level how much we're all connected. And that's what's a journey that's kind of hard to let go. That's where the books tie into it. That's where acting ties into it. That's where the body work ties into it. Because like in Western culture, we're very mind oriented. And when you get into different cultures, they're more instinct oriented. Go with your gut rather than your mind. And applying that to Western civilization, which we live in and the choices we make, leads to a different life. You can't hold yourself accountable to the same goals that people who went to college and had that kind of career do than people who choose acting and have that kind of career. You know, at the end of the day, you can maybe make the same amount of money, but you're going to get there differently. You're going to feel about it differently.
Yeah.
And that's kind of goes with the energy work life. There's a little bit more of the tuning into the universe and trusting the universe that goes with this. That's really what it's been like. Now that's a sentence and a half.
Yeah, that's
that was a lot.
But no, but it was so well thought out and interesting. And I was thinking to myself, every time I come to LA and hang with you, I never even got this explanation. So I'm learning something right now, and I think it's amazing, especially now with what's going on in the world.
Yes.
I know you mentioned to me that you're not back at work.
Yes.
Here in New York, their massage has been available.
Indoors?
Indoors. I went for a massage at not a spa, but like a more like a medical type of place. And you know, we had to wear masks. The massage therapist had to wear a mask. There was no common water bottle water machine that you could share. There was a big screen up in front of the receptionist. We couldn't hang out there. We had to, but yes, they are doing it. And I know you mentioned
like get your service and leave kind of stuff, not hang out at the spa. Right. Okay.
Right. Exactly. And even like they didn't have many chairs around anymore because they don't want you hanging around.
Yes. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm sorry that you're not back to work. I don't know when.
I'm not. I'm kidding.
But I'm sure your patients are. Your clients are.
They are.
But especially now with this pandemic and all, with the massage, it's a shame, right? Because this is what people need right now.
You know what's weird is you don't really realize how much you need people till you need people. And when you've been cut off from people, or either by yourself or just with one other person or your immediate family, whatever, you don't realize how much you're a social being. And especially in our culture, we're not touched and hugged enough, especially out there as a culture. So sometimes when you're really isolated, you really don't realize how much you're kind of spinning out of control till someone literally grounds you by putting their hands on you.
Right,
so
right
now it's weird. It's like, I don't perform a service that's so necessary. Like I'm not a frontline person and shouldn't be given that kind of respect. But as far as the needs of people, massage is kind of proving that it is. I've been able to be in contact with some of my clients that I have privately, and everyone's okay. I've been able to see some, but the thing about the spa is if you're going to come back to a spa, you still have to kind of offer a spa atmosphere.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? As well as a spa service. And that's where I think, because that's the expectation people have coming in. They'll definitely get a service, but we can't run around with hazmat suits and stuff like that. You know, it has to be somewhat safe enough for us to interact with our guests in a way of familiarity. You know, because familiarity and safety go together. And that's what we've offered at the spa for so many years.
Right. I'm surprised they're not open yet, because I'm telling you, they're open in Connecticut. They're open in New York. I mean, I don't know that you have to wear a hazmat suit, but you could, I mean, if you take the precautions, but I was going to say, if you take the precautions with the mask and everything,
right.
But I guess like what you said about spa, like it's not like they can hang out there after.
And the other thing is, LA County hasn't caught up to New York. We were behind you guys. So when you guys really went for it and was doing your thing, it just wasn't that big of a reality in California. Right. Now ours is set on later, and we're a little bit, we're not as closed in as we were a couple months ago. So I think ours is going to take a little bit longer. Right. But at the same time, it's actually prolonging the need for this. I don't see our spa chain going out of business. Like, I think we're big enough to weather the storm. We have enough people to weather the storm.
Right.
But I think everyone's anxiety level could be decreased just by some interaction. Safe interaction. Yeah. But interaction,
Absolutely. And I want to say something, as I mentioned earlier, I'm still in Connecticut. I got quote unquote stuck here, and I'm so happy I did. You've been with me when my back went out. You've been with me, and it's not fun.
Yes. Well, it's not fun for you. It wasn't that bad for me. I'm not gonna lie, but it wasn't fun for you. Yeah, I just gotta be a little honest. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, give her a pill. I'm gonna watch a basketball game. I'll check in. You know.
I know. You were like, here, take your meds, and
here you go, catch. I'm kidding.
I'll see you later.
Exactly.
But I mean, like I would tell you something. So many years ago, when I was living in Cancun, Mexico, I went over with your friend Pat. No, actually, no, he wasn't there. We both worked for Club Med, but Pat wasn't at that one. Right. But I went over to the island Cozumel, which is a diver's island. Right. And I'll never forget, I went to get a massage, and this lady that was working there was actually from New Jersey. Wow. And she started giving me a massage. She was used to working on scuba divers. And it was just so uncomfortable. Right. It was too strong. Right. And I was like, ow, ow. You would think that she would get it and back off, go lighter. Right. What she did was, well, you have a lot of, unconscious things that you need to get out.
Right.
And I didn't like that. I thought, like, you're massaging me. Don't tell me about my mind and whatever. You're hurting me. What do you think about that?
Let me tell you, I've had that happen a lot in exchanges with customers, and here's why. Customers come in and something bothers them. Their neck bothers them, something like that, and you get a massage, and you want that to go away. It does. But when somebody who really knows what they're doing puts their hands on you, it goes past what bothers you and goes to what the problem is. And that can be a little more uncomfortable than people think. When you've done enough massage, you always listen to the customer, but it's sometimes it happens a lot where it's like, this will be better in a half hour. Just go through this. You'll be better in 2 days for this. Just right now, take a deep breath. That sounds like that, because if you've done enough body work, As soon as you touch your client's body tells you what needs to be done. What you have to do, because you're in America, is time it. Because, it's about timing. You have 50 minutes, you have 80 minutes. So you have to time it. But usually the body tells you what it needs to work on. And when stuff like that happens, what's sad is sometimes that's the first time that person hears that. Like what happened to you, it's the first time. And you're like, well, that's usually a better body work practitioner who kind of, they accept what you're saying, but it doesn't stop them, because uncomfortable isn't pain and release is not always comfortable.
Right.
That's the two things that once you kind of get used to it, or like you're on vacation, you can have in the beginning, you're still wound up from the flight, say massage, then 5 days later, you're a different person, you're jello and it's easy. You know what I mean? So sometimes that, because your body will not go anywhere your mind doesn't go.
That's interesting. Yeah, I have to be honest. I really didn't like what you said, because I was like, what are you, psychoanalyzing me? I'm getting a massage here. You don't even know me.
That's the thing. You don't psychoanalyze, but you kind of assess your patient. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you have a lot of stuff wrong with you, because I've touched a person before and knew that they were having a problem in their life. And if I worked on this knot, it was going to bother them. However, if I don't work on this knot, they're always going to have this problem, and I may not get them back as a customer because I haven't relieved the problem, which is why they can't come in.
Right.
When that happens, you're a massage therapist, depending. For me, you tell the person what's going on to kind of warn them a little bit about what this is. It's kind of like if you got a bad sunburn and you're coming in going, my back is sunburned, can you put some ointment on? And they look at it, they're like, yeah, that's no problem, I could put ointment. Or, hey, that's a little worse, let me put a wrap on it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's like, you might be aware, but don't really know until you see. That's the hard thing, and that's where the relationships come in. That's where the trust comes in.
The trust. Right.
Now
you mentioned energy work.
Yes.
Is that because I've had Reiki before? Are you talking about that?
Energy work is a little different, because I don't specifically perform energy work, but energy work is connected to body work.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So you're always working on someone's energy when you're working on their body. You can work on their energy and not be working on their body, like Reiki. But if you're doing body work, you're always doing energy work, and you just have to know that. And a lot of energy work starts with intention.
Right.
Am I intending to heal you? Are you intending to surrender to the massage? Because like I've had somebody going through a really hard breakup, and then, I've got this headache and blah, blah, blah. And when you work on that headache's going to come up. That divorce is going to come up. That job is going to come up. That fight's going to come up. If you work on people who work with somebody who just passed away, you get something called emotional release, which happens all the time. It's tears, it's release. It really has nothing to do with you or them. It has to do with a memory that just hasn't flowed out of them yet. So things like that happen, and like that's where, as a bodywork a practitioner, it takes a little until you see it the first time. You really don't know. Once you go through it, you realize how in charge of that person you are. It's a very trusting thing to take off like your top and lay face down and trust somebody to do something.
Right.
So, trust has a lot to do with that. But if a person's working on you like that, like your Cozumel example, they're working for you to feel better. You know what I mean? Like, and it is tough, but usually they're in the best space for you, because to do this kind of work, it's kind of like being a teacher. You have to kind of love it.
Right. No, and that's why you're good, and that's why you're successful.
That's why people come back.
Yep. I have a question from one of my friends, Rose.
Yes.
She's asking if in-home massage is in demand, since most people are nervous about going into a spa.
In-home massages, it's always in demand, because people realize once you get off a massage table, you're kind of knocked out. You know what I mean? And it's better to be at your house than have to get in a car or something like that.
Right.
Right now, it's weird. It's starting to pick up steam because people are realizing businesses are going to be down a little bit. However, because of the whole atmosphere, as a therapist, you're not sure you trust the house you're going to as much as you trust a professional spa.
Right.
So I would say it's a little harder to get new clients now, But if you know your clients, they're definitely calling, and you're definitely going.
Wow.
I've had clients for 10 years. Like, when they get a hold of me, no problem, because I trust them.
Right.
Newer clients, it's a little bit more
trust
process.
You.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think in order for massage to be effective, you have to do it at least, once a week, not once every 2 months kind of thing?
I think for massage to be effective, you have to commit to it. And what I mean by that is massage every week is a dream, but most people really aren't that stressed. Even if you're a professional athlete, you have to kind of mend from it. So usually about twice a month is the most. Now, if you have a stressful job, you can need a massage, but your mind needs a break more than your body sometimes.
You're right.
So, it depends on the kind of massage. Sometimes instead of really deep tissue, you're more just pinching and holding and shaking like a little bit, just to kind of connect with the person and do more release trigger point work rather than deep work all the time. So it depends how much. Massage a week is great for the therapist, but only for the pocketbook. Really, it's about once a month.
Once a month.
Once a month is really enough.
So do you think the effects are cumulative? In other words, so I go for a massage tomorrow, and then I get back into my patterns. I'm sitting at my desk, or I'm standing at my desk, and I'm doing, whatever. Do you think that massage is now canceled out, or
it takes a little bit of time? It takes about a week, takes about 2 weeks, and then by the time your massage is kind of canceled out, that's why within a month you've had a good run, you've let it build up, you've got some good habits, you didn't have some good habits, some things, and then you can kind of justify the expense, because that's American culture. It's an expense. But what happens is, as you feel better, when I used to get massage, or when I used to do a yoga class for any of this, I always want to go eat healthy and have like a salad.
Right.
And when you start getting that good reinforcement of that, you start going down that path. Like for instance, if you start doing massage, the first thing I did in school was I stopped drinking soda. I started eating more natural. I started eating. Yeah, put it off camera. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You start drinking more water. You eat maybe more tea instead of coffee and stuff like that.
Right.
That's why.
I understand. It transfers to other parts of your life. I got it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes.
So, why do you think it's important for somebody to spend in this climate 150, whatever it is, on a massage?
I'll tell you why.
Especially now.
I'll tell you why. Because if you spend $150 on a massage, the first thing you're saying is, I'm worth it.
Uh-huh.
That's what you have to get out of it. If you don't value yourself to get a massage, don't get one.
But why massage? They could spend $100 on, getting a new dress, or why massage?
The high of a new dress wears off quicker than the 2 weeks it takes for the massage to wear off. That's why.
Okay.
Massage is a lifestyle choice, which is a quality of life choice. The other things are important, like a dress should be for an occasion, a birthday, stuff like that. Absolutely. Then you should get a massage also. For us, we don't value, as a Western society, our inner self better. And if we're going to fill up with our postures and our caffeine and our sugar and our stress and our media and our politics, you have to let your spirit cleanse as well as you would like brush your teeth and shave and stuff like that. You have to do that to your spirit. That's what massage does. And that's the part that once we get one, you're like, wow, I didn't realize I was so tired. I'm so grounded right now. You don't realize sometimes how much you're wound up until you get a massage and get grounded. That's why. Now, $150, to be honest, that may be more than you can do. If you have to eat or get a massage, eat. But if it's quality of life, get a massage still once a month, because the release of the energy that blocks your soul is worth the price.
I swear to God, I don't know where Ann found you, but you impress me each and every time. The other thing is, you're really into it, and that's why you're good.
Right.
But there are massage therapists out there that are not that good. And I've gone to a few of them, and I know different, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're going like this, you're going like that. You're not doing it.
The thing that's hard about massage is, for me, it was easier because my wife's a little bit older. So in doing that, I was more comfortable touching an older person. I wasn't a teenager. So when I got into massage, I was an adult. I was a man. She was a woman. So you bring a different intention. When people touch you, like they call it bird feeding, with that little pecking kind of thing, that kind of stuff. They're not committed to the massage. They're usually earlier. And honestly, you don't really get good at massage until you do it. You have to really put in table time. It's not something you learn at school. You learn at school how your tools work and where they are, but it's really until you get clients when they're like more pressure, till you understand what pressure is.
Yeah.
One of my massage gurus, she said to me, she goes, you really don't get up better until you have privates. She goes, it's you and that person at their house, and they're paying you to relieve that knot. You better get to work on it. And it was that kind of stuff where you really, massage takes, they say to be an expert, it takes 10,000 hours of anything.
Wow, really?
For massage, you have to do at least 3 good years to really just have a sense of how bodies work, how different bodies work, and how you can, with almost the same game plan, attack every different body and get a good result. And that just takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, and you're dealing with so many different people. You have to like read them and adjust. Tell me about one of your most memorable massages, obviously without naming names, like, and it could be memorable in the way like weird, funny, good. Like, what do you think?
I'll tell you a couple that happened, and they were.
And by the way, there's a message from our friend Pat. He's telling me, he's telling you, Josh, move closer to the screen. Okay. And I love you, Pat and Ann. I do.
Well, we love Marnie more. You know what's funny for me from massage, what stands out is the times when there was a vulnerability with my clients. I was massaging I was still an interning where I was getting my hours and still learning like deep tissue. And I was working on this lady, and the way it was is we had to kind of work with the hips and stuff like that. And I wasn't comfortable with her. She was another therapist where, it was my time to work. And I just wasn't comfortable. I wasn't getting it right. It was frustrating, but I didn't really understand why I didn't get it. So I'm working with her, and I had put my hands on her, and I got this message. And the message was her standing up with her like this, flinching. And I knew she had been hit.
Really?
And I was at a class with there was maybe 12 stations, maybe 20, 24 of us in a class. I'm working with somebody I've never known, never will meet. We're not paying each other. We're both doing it. And I knew that, and I didn't know what to do with it. I don't how do you bring it up? She hasn't given me permission. We're not really working on each other. We're supposed to be practicing something. This isn't even, a professional setting in that sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was the first time, because that was the first time I was faced with the responsibility of it. And that's where it really goes out, where your clients that you connect with, there's a vulnerability that you have to respect and nurture. And that's what comes out. I'll tell you a good story. Again, I was getting my intern hours, and I had this older lady, probably could have been friends with your mother. You know what I mean? She was in the valley. She comes in, and she's sitting there talking to me, and, she's kind of gossiping, and it was fine. I'm talking. And as I'm massaging her, she goes, my son's getting married Saturday, and I'm worried that he's gay, and he was only getting married to make me happy. And I was like, and I was, and I was like, wow. And that's the other part about massage is I realized that people verbalize, and then people also reveal, because the one before then, when she, when I got that image, she didn't say anything. We never talked about it. It was very uncomfortable, but I knew. I'll give you the craziest story. Here's a good one. So I'm getting my intern hours, and I had this girl come in, and I think she was a trainer. Brunette, kind of cute, you know what I mean? Looked like she would have been one of Sally's friends, you know what I mean? Like that,
Yeah.
So she had been a couple times, because in internings, the massages are cheaper, so people come in. So I'd had her at least twice, maybe 3 times. Nice lady, one of my first return clients ever. And she was coming in this time, and she was just a little bit more like she had a headache, just like, and like, okay, great. I'm here. I got something to work on. She's laying down, doing the massage. I'm working on her forearm, right underneath her wrist. And I'm working. And for me, when I get these images, they're black and white photos, and there's no sound, but it's like black and white photos. And suddenly I just know. So I'm working on her forearm, and there used to be this commercial to join the Navy. And it was at night. It was a beach with a wave, another wave, then footprints, then another wave, and it said Navy. And it was like the greatest ad ever. And it was running then. So I'm massaging her forearm, and on that beach was words MOM written in the sand. So I get done, finish up. She seems relieved. She's kind of checking out, giving my tip. And I said, I got this message, and I just have to pass it on to you. I said, it was, like written in the sand, but MOM, what does that mean to you? It's like, my mother's here. She's a pain in the ass. I can't wait till she leaves. But it's like, that's what lets me know that the connection that's available to clients. And I think the clients that really keep their therapists and therapists that keep their clients have that connection with each other.
Josh, you really are on. Every time I talk to you, there's another thing that I find, and you and I, we could talk all night. I mean,
and I'm better than Pat. Yeah, that's all I care about. Hi,
Marnie. You're unbelievable. Wait, I just thought of something.
Okay.
Why aren't you working with detectives with this images that you get? I don't know anybody that.
Here's what's weird about that. There's mediums who do stuff, but they connect to a different spiritual level than we do. The thing with this, and here's what it is, I don't control this. I don't know how it works. It just kind of works because it doesn't happen with every client. It doesn't happen every time I do like a certain move. You know what I mean? Like, done with the upper body, go to the legs. It's not like that. That's what's hard. I wish in a way we were all able to, but it's something that I'm still kind of getting to know. But the crazy thing that happens to me is anyone that I've connected with, some with massage, some just personally, I'll know they're thinking of me, and then I'll get a voicemail or a text or an appointment at the spa.
Yeah.
There was a guy, I knew a Holocaust survivor who I had met in our journeys. And I was thinking about him, and that turned out to be a few hours before he passed away. And I didn't realize till it was announced in the paper later. Like, let's say it was announced on a Friday and I was thinking about him on a Tuesday. It was that kind of thing. And ever since then, I've really been sure to understand that when someone becomes on my mind, contact them.
Wow.
Because that's the thing. Like, there's some people, and I don't know how many. In my eyes, there's probably 10, maybe a dozen. Some are clients, some are family, but you're connected to them and you know it. And that's the part that's really
rewarding.
It is. It's also, you have to honor that. You really do. So it's humbling.
Josh, I know that whatever you do or whatever you're into, you do it 1,000%, and you're unbelievable. And I want to let everybody know where they can reach you. You can reach Josh. Okay, hang on. Let me just find my banner. Where did it go? Here we go. Here we go. This is where you can reach Josh. If you have any questions, if you're in the LA area.
Yeah. LA County. Got to be LA County.
LA County area. I know Josh works with all types of you work with people that have, diseases and cancer and everything. I know you work on all kinds of people, and especially now with what's going on, you're so needed. So again, everybody, if you want to see, let me make sure I have the right banner and not Pat's banner.
No, you do.
Yeah.
10% off if you say I'm better than Pat.
Pat, are you watching?
He will. I know it.
Josh, this was such a great interview, and I love you. I love your energy, and you're just awesome. And I can't wait to be in LA for a personal massage from you.
Yes.
And thank you so much. It was so much fun. I miss you, and I can't wait to be hanging out again soon.
I miss you and I love you, and spread the love in Connecticut, all right?
I will. I'll spread. My friends said, by the way, they made some comments.
Okay.
Ivy said she loves all things Josh.
There she goes. Ivy has great taste.
Yes, and Rose, my friend, is who I mentioned before.
Right.
She said that Rose said that her husband said, Josh, I hope you can bring back the full massage experience soon. And then Rose said at the end, thank you both. Wish you were in Connecticut. She wishes you were in Connecticut.
Me too.
You guys will meet. You'll meet at one point.
Me too. There's a lot of love in Connecticut. I got people out there. It would be good to see them.
Yeah, thanks, Ivy. Ivy just said in most things, Lillian. Thanks, Ivy. You're funny. Rose just said she'll have you stay at her house. She has plenty of room.
Perfect. Go see Bart and Joy, Vaj, and the kids. It'll be great. I love that. We'll get some real pizza and have some real bagels. I can't wait.
We had pizza yesterday. You can bring Ann. You can't bring Ann Chippy. You can bring Ann.
I love that deal. That's good. That's good.
All right. I love you, honey. I'll send you this YouTube link.
Please do. I love you. Have a great day.
I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.